Paxton, thank you for having the courage of your convictions, brah. May we all use our place in this democracy to fight for what we believe to be right and follow your example. Yeah, you should follow her example by, shouting about how abortion is just an indubitable moral good. I mean, look how far they've pushed on culture. So yesterday, there was a video making the rounds on the internet of a girl in Texas who was valedictorian of her high school. And instead of reading her valedictory address, which had been pre-approved, which is typically how this is done at high schools all around the nation, instead she got up and she decided to rant about abortion and how abortion was a wonderful thing for women. And she was cheered for this. Hillary Clinton, remember, her husband said safe, legal, and rare. This girl was like, if we don't have abortion, women can't succeed in American life. And Hillary Clinton was cheering it. Here's what this young woman had to say.
I have dreams and hopes and ambitions. Every girl graduating today does. And we have spent our entire lives working towards our future. And without our input and without our consent, our control over that future has been stripped away from us. I am terrified that if my contraceptives fail, I am terrified that if I am raped, then my hopes and aspirations and dreams and efforts for my future will no longer matter.
Okay, what she's saying is morally horrifying, right? She's saying that her hopes and aspirations rely on killing a baby in the womb. That's what she's actually saying. Okay, she throws in rape there, but the reality is that the vast majority of people who are having abortions in the United States, as in on the order of over 99%, are not people who have been raped or are victims of incest. Okay, the vast majority of people who have abortions in the United States are having abortions because they don't want the baby. Okay, and but that is treated not only as mainstream political rhetoric these days, that abortion is a fundamental good. It's a guarantor of women's rights. It's a guarantor that you're able to do what you want in the workplace. Now, it turns out that there are other ways to avoid getting pregnant. Namely, don't have sex, use birth control, use a couple forms of birth control. You could theoretically do what my wife and I did and get married before you have babies, right? There are lots of things you can do. But the idea here that abortion is the sole guarantor, that it is the last available battlement before women's rights are breached, is an insane one, but the left has fully embraced this. To the point where Andrew Cuomo was lighting up buildings in New York pink after they passed a basic abortion on demand up until point of birth bill in New York. Who's pushing the culture war? The people who are pushing the culture war are the folks on the left. Again, Hillary Clinton tweeted out, "This took guts. Thank you for not saying silent, Paxton." Did it take guts, though? Because she knew she'd be celebrated. Beto O'Rourke tweeted, "Paxton, thank you for having the courage of your convictions and inspiring Texas with your refusal to accept injustice as the price of participation in civic life, brah. May we all use our place in this democracy to fight for what we believe to be right and follow your example." Yeah, you should follow her example by, shouting about how abortion is just an indubitable moral good. It's just an incredible moral good. Accept injustice as the price of participation. Again, no one is forcing her to get pregnant. Nobody is suggesting that she cannot make the decision not to have a baby. Okay, but once you have a baby in your womb, that is an independent human. Speaking of the culture war, see, here's the thing. Culture wars are a bunch of little battles. And every time there's a little battle, people on the left say, well, why are you even pushing back on this? Again, this is all part of the broader gaslighting. So the broader gaslighting is, we didn't start the culture war. You guys are the culture warriors. And we're like, wait, I'm a culture warrior because I say that abortion is bad and men and women exist? I'm confused. Like, how did that make me the aggressor in this culture war? And this is why the media are constantly using the language of Republicans pounce. Every time something happens that the left is pushing, it's Republicans pounce. The story is not Republicans pouncing. The story is the left pushing an aggressive move. We're in a battle for the culture and for our values. Like and subscribe to help keep our videos on the front line of the fight and top of your feed.